Hi, this is Marissa, and today I'm talking about something really important: what to do when you are living with a covert narcissist. Narcissists are actually incredibly difficult to deal with because their belief is there's nothing wrong with them and everything is wrong with everybody else. And in fact, I train amazing therapists all over the world, and the few people we don't treat very much, are narcissists. So if you are living with a covert narcissist, here's your life. Everything is your fault. Everything is wrong with you. Nothing you're going to do will ever make your narcissistic partner or parent get better, because there's nothing wrong with them. And everything is wrong with you, and everything is wrong with people. Remember, the narcissist fell in love with his own reflection, what he liked about himself. Of course, you can be a female narcissist. So if you are living with a covert narcissist, you're married to one, you're dating one, you've married into a family where your mother-in-law, father-in-law, your parent is one, do not try to change yourself to make them better. And don't try to change them. Don't ever go, hey, Mom, you know what you were complaining about? Well, I found something that will help you, because they don't need help. And if you put all the effort, okay, I seem to really antagonize my mom when I do this or that. Why don't I change my behavior? It's a complete waste of your time. Narcissists are very unhappy, but they never look at themselves. Oddly enough, because narcissists fell in love with his reflection, that sounds very odd. Narcissists do not ever look at their own behavior. They don't question it. They'll say, everyone else is wrong, I'm always right. I met one and she said to me, you know what? The problem is I'm never wrong. I'm always right. Everyone else is wrong. And that's hard work. So I'd love to say, I've got in my pocket a little bit of advice I can give you to make your life better. Well, actually I have. Stop trying to change yourself. You will never make them better by changing you. Keep doing what you've always done. Live your life. Understand that person is in deep pain and it's not your fault, and you can't make their pain better. When someone comes to me and goes, here's my pain, could you make it better? I go, yeah, but you have to participate in your recovery. If an alcoholic comes to me and goes, hey, Marissa, could you take away my alcoholism? Yes. If you join me, you got to do things as well. I can help people recover from almost anything if they participate in the recovery. Not long ago, a son sent me his narcissistic mother and said, she's driving me crazy, please do something. And as I began to work, she said to me, I shan't listen to any recording you make me. I said, because I shan't listen to it. I don't listen to anything, And then she said, nobody can ever help me. And I said, you sound really proud of that. She goes, I am. I'm very proud. People like you can't help me. And I felt immensely sorry for her son. But when I said again, you're so proud of the fact that nobody can help you, it did make her stop and think. And I just had to go back to him and go, look, I can only help you. Don't let it in. And shortly after I told him about his mother and said, you must not let in what she says, he called me and said, you know what, my mother really is past herself. I went to visit her, and as I left, she said to me, I hope you get cancer and die, and then you'll know what it's like to be in the kind of pain I'm in. He said, I looked and went, Mum, even for you, that's a bit hardcore, don't you think? He said, I'm not going to let that in. And he said, I went away, and I thought, wow, I would have been on the floor with pain and sadness that my mother said that, and I remembered, well, it's not about me. I don't have to let it in. Do you know that not letting in other people's criticism can change your entire life like that? Because you have a choice. You have a choice when living with anyone that's critical or difficult or withholding, to not let it in. One of my clients said recently, I asked my narcissistic parent, are you proud of me? And they went, for what? What have you ever done that could make me proud of you? You haven't even suffered enough to understand how I feel. And now they have a choice. Shall I go away and go, wow, I'm so hurt? I asked my parent, are you proud of me? And I'm working every day to make them proud, buying them stuff, giving them stuff, doing stuff, being a straight A kid and now a straight A adult. And they went, am I proud of you? For what? But you have a choice. Don't let it in. So my best advice for anyone living with a covert narcissist is don't let in their criticism. If you're dating one, here's better advice: get out, leave. Do not marry a narcissist. Never let a narcissist parent your children, because they will always be wrong. And you know when people kill themselves, you know what they say when they leave a note? Somebody made them wrong. If you are always right, what do you think the other person is? Of course, they are always wrong. And by the way, if this is ringing bells with you, please like it, please share it. Many people come to me and say, wow, I went home and I did what you said. I Googled narcissistic personality disorder. And then they suddenly have an aha moment. That's my mum. That's my dad. That's my brother. That's who they are. And I don't have to change them. I have to change me. You see, when you have a great mind, and I promise you have a great mind, you do have a choice. Here's your choice. Rationalize why I feel so bad with this difficult covert narcissism, or talk myself out of feeling bad. It's their issue. It doesn't have to be my issue. And I want to tell you something else that's really important. One of the things that is a major cause of depression is harsh, hurtful, critical words that you hear about yourself on a daily basis. When you say harsh, hurtful, critical words to yourself, that will cause depression. When a parent says it, it's very likely to make you feel depressed unless you choose to not let it in. So remember the man whose mother said, I hope you get cancer and die. Remember the mother who said to her kid, you haven't suffered enough to be successful. You have to suffer like me to even understand me. And each of those people had a choice. Shall I let those words destroy me, or shall I choose to not let it in? So let me recap very quickly. You cannot change a narcissist. You can't earn their love. You can't buy their love. You can't work for their love. You can't earn their respect. You can't buy it. You can't chase it, because they are withholders. Everybody is wrong in the whole world except for them. And a narcissist's job is to make you wrong so they can be right. And they like that job, and they very rarely retire. Occasionally, narcissists, when they lose their looks, get a little bit better, a little bit easier, a little bit softer, but not always. Do not try to change them. Change yourself. If they happen to be your parents and you have this duty to be around them less. But if you're dating one, leave. If you're about to marry one, reconsider. If you're thinking of bringing a child into the world with a narcissist, don't do it. There's enough people you can find love with. Narcissists are hard work, they're difficult. I have the best therapy method in the world. We have won so many awards, and even I very rarely treat narcissists. I did recently work with 4 children of a narcissist. She had systematically damaged each of those kids. I made them so much better. She was absolutely furious, and she banned her husband from bringing them to see me. One of them was bulimic, one of them was anorexic, because she'd say, well, why aren't you beautiful like me? Look at me, how have I had these fat, ugly children? I don't understand. Why aren't you smart like me? And I worked so hard to make those kids feel better, and it made her so annoyed, she stopped them coming. And I don't even work with a narcissist. I did it because her husband begged me to. But I knew that she would step in and stop it, because she couldn't bear me helping them, because the only person who could help them was her. And she was never going to help them because everything was wrong with them. She was a perfect parent. They were just ungrateful kids. So you get the picture. If you're living with one and you can leave, leave. Do not waste any time making them better. And if you can't leave and you have to stay because you're already married and you've got children together, work on yourself, work on your kids. Let that person work out their own issue, which they probably never will. I wish you every success. Life is wonderful. Take control of your thoughts. Take control of who you are. Remember, the whole law of control begins like this. Your thoughts control your feelings. your feelings control your actions, and your actions control your events. And if you start going, well, you know, my partner was so critical, the day is ruined now, what's the point? You've allowed your thoughts to dictate your feelings, to dictate your events. And if you decide to go, well, that's a bitter, unhappy person, but I'm going to choose to have a great day regardless, that's going over my head, I don't have to let it in. Then you are changing your thoughts, which are changing your feelings, which are changing your actions. When you can take control of your thoughts, your life is amazing. When you can make your thoughts positive no matter what, your life is phenomenal. Make your life phenomenal. And remember, help other people cope better too by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel so I can help you more and you can help other people more. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.